guys. You're listening to Life Without Spoilers podcast, the place where real life meets the amazing art of cinema.
Here we share personal stories and movie stories, never revealing the end.
I am Raquel.
And I am Ariane. Just grab your popcorn and let's join us in this odyssey.
So today we will be interviewing Luma. She's 28 years old and just graduated in electrical and computer engineering technology, and is currently a professor at her community college.
She's a happy dreamer and still had lots of projects to develop, to dream, and to achieve. From Northeast Brazil to the world, welcome Malu!
Yay! Hi everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so to remind you of what is our podcast about, we ask our guests to choose 7 movies, and based on these movies, we're going to develop the story of this person's life. So Malu, could you tell us what is the first movie you chose, the movie you chose to represent your childhood?
Oh yes. So the first movie I chose, one of the 7 movies you guys talked with me about. So it's gonna be Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses. I know that's like a very old movie, one of a very old movie from Barbie, but I really liked that movie when I was a child. Like I don't even know how many times I watched that movie.
And did you like Barbie dolls too, or just the Barbie movies?
Yes, I had a lot of Barbies growing up. Like I just dress up the Barbies. My grandma used it to make some clothes for them as well. So I just love to do that. But yes, this movie in particular, when you guys sent me the list to choose a movie that represent my childhood, this was the first one that came to my mind just because I remember I bought games about this movie. I bought dolls about this movie. They had games in the computer for that as well, CDs and stuff. There's just a lot going on about the movie, and I love that movie.
What was the game?
I don't remember, but I do remember. So I know I had puzzles. I remember we used to go to the stores and they have those puzzles with pieces that you have to build an image and stuff.
Yeah.
So I had those for that movie specifically. And they did have a game too. It was like kind of a puzzle game as well. So the movie, they kind of discover something that you have to dance in the order to open like a portal or something. So that if I remember well, the game was about that in the computer, but it's been many years, I don't remember.
And do you remember the story of the movie, the 12 dancing princes?
Yeah, so that was, the Barbie one, Genevieve, and
Yeah.
that was her 11 sisters, and they all like to dance. But then, if I remember well, her dad married someone that didn't like dancing, so she abolished the dance in their whole realm and stuff. But at some point, all the girls found a portal that they could go through that they could dance, and the woman found out because every night, like every morning after they woke up, she would find their shoes worn. So they were ballerines. So she would see all their shoes worn off and everything. It's pretty much about, I don't want to say the end of anything, but it's pretty much about that. Like they found a place that they could dance every night, pretty much. And from there, it goes on, the story.
And-
Sounds like a feminist movie. Like she marries a jerk. And then she was like, no, I'd rather ring out with my.
It's the guy that married a bad woman. It's her dad.
There gets married.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So her stepmom.
She's the villain, yes.
Gotcha. Always, right. The stepmom.
It's a stepmom, but yeah, it's definitely a woman that she, came into the story to the family. She's very mean, and yeah, she's unhappy.
I thought it was like
childhood. Like when it comes to loving Barbie movies, how was your childhood? What do you play with? Did you have friends to play your Barbies with?
Yeah, I don't remember playing with friends a lot. I had a lot of Barbies at home, and I liked to play by myself. What I liked about this specific movie is that I was also a ballerina growing up.
Okay.
So I liked to dance as well. And I remember in this movie specifically, if you watch, they have like some videos on how they made that movie. And they use technology. They use a ballerina to play the role in the movies, to do all the dancing in that movie. So, you use those suits and you have a lot of sensors and stuff.
Yes.
So they used real people to make all the movements. And I thought that was so cool. And I watched all the YouTube videos about it and everything, like on how they made that. But yeah, I used it to play a lot with Barbies growing up. I like to pretend and stuff like that.
How far in the ballet road did you go? Like, were you in recitals and stuff?
I don't remember when I started, but I know I danced for almost 13 years.
Oh,
Mm,
And
wow.
that's a
I
long time.
stopped a while. Yeah, I stopped a while ago. I stopped when I pretty much when I was about to finish high school, maybe,
Oh,
and I
So you
well,
didn't
did like
dance much.
presentations and
I
everything.
did, yes, I did a few of them growing up, and a few of them when I was in high school already. Not many when I was in high school, because I was older, focused on school and everything. But I did. I played. I think the latest one I played was the
oh, the
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker.
So
Cool.
I played the fairy on the Nutcracker, which was pretty nice.
Nice. Do you
I
have
think that
videos?
I do have pictures.
Okay.
I don't know where the videos are at. Although I wish, but I have some pictures.
That's awesome. I would like to see it one day. I did
Yeah.
start ballet as well, pretty young age. I feel like in Brazil for a while it was this fever of girls do ballet, and
Yeah.
that's why I started too because I was so enchanted with the clothes, the ballerina.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
It's the best part for me. You get to go to this, usually they hire someone that's responsible for all the clothing and styling and everything. And you just get to
Mhm.
go there. They play dress up with you.
Yeah,
It's like do all
absolutely.
the measurements, the tutus and stuff. It's so nice. I love that.
And who started that? Did you want it to start and you asked your parents to start ballet or
Yeah, yeah. I
like
was a
they were like,
little.
Loom, you're gonna do this?
I think it was me and my mom who thought it would be good to me too, and I really like it. So I just, stayed doing it for a long time.
14.
I know. I did a lot growing up. It was a lot of activities thanks to my mom.
And do you have like any siblings that were part of this dancing part, or did they have different activities going on, or are you only child?
No, I have two sisters. I have one sister from my mom and one sister from my dad. So I grew up with my sister from my mom's side.
How older or how younger was she compared to you?
Today she's 23. It's her birthday today, so she just turned 23.
Okay, so she's
Yeah.
congratulations to her. So she's younger than you then.
Yeah, yeah, yes. She's 6 years younger than me.
And were you like, did you get along with her, or did you
Hmm.
put her into your playings and
Oh
your
yeah.
dancing?
I mean, when she was born, I was 6, so we did fight a little. I got a little jealous, I would say, when she was born, if I remember well. But after, we got along. We fought a lot, for sure. But that happens, I feel, every family, every
Mm-hmm.
It
healthy
does.
family. So
That's normal. Siblings.
yeah, no, we got along. We play a lot. She's not. I don't think she did ballet, but not as long as I did. It was not her thing.
I do have a question for you. We might be able to touch on this subject ahead, which is your career, which I think is fantastic. So, Luma or Malu, for everybody that's
Mhm.
listening to us, she goes by both nicknames.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning we said Luma and then we said Malu.
Yeah, it's how it depends on how you met me, I guess.
Yeah. But I wanted to, so because you're on the electrical computer engineering area, which is technology, and I think it's fantastic that there's a woman doing that. It's so rare to see it. I personally never met anybody that, like you, was, programming a robot, and I think it's crazy. So I'm not sure if it's in the childhood part or if we're going to talk about this a little bit ahead, but in what part of your life did you find out that you like technology and that you wanted to do that instead of dance ballet? Whatever.
Yeah, I was in high school actually. So I'm a computer technician, but I don't tell this to many people just because I graduated from that in my high school. It's been 10 years, and many things. I hold a diploma for computer technician, but I do not. That's many things I might have forgot already. But anyways, but I did a lot of classes in there related to robotics, automation, computers, and stuff. So that's when I got this contact, and I really liked it. Here I am today.
So, well, I mean, since you're talking about the high school, and I guess we can move on to our next movie, which is the movie for your teenager years,
Mhm.
adolescence. What is the movie? Why? And then we can talk about the technology area as well.
So the movie I chose for my teenage area was the Princess's Diaries,
Mhm.
and I would say I chose that one because I do feel when I switched it to high school, I had a glow up. I was a little different, and I few people noticed it at first. And I feel that's something that happened with her in the movie too. When she found out about her grandma and everything, and she got all these changes, and people noticed her in school.
Mhm.
So I feel like, because I mean, I was, again, this is so past. I don't care about that anymore. But I was bullied when I was, younger, when I was growing up. I was a bit of a weird kid as well. But I did a little bit. Anyways, but so I was really like her in the movie. She was like this big glasses and
Uh-huh.
she have curly hair. I have curly hair too. My mom, when I found out I need glasses, for some reason my mom thought that the best pair of glasses would be those round ones, big ones. So I went with that one to school, and of course my mom's hair is straight, so she didn't know how to take care of my hair properly at the time, which is okay. She didn't know. And a lot happened in between those years before high school. But when I went to high school, I did sprint. I was an athlete as well. So I was an athlete. I did care about my studies. So I was a good student. I had a little bit of a glow up. So I feel at that time people started to notice me. Everybody started to know who I was. So it's kind of how I feel that happened that time.
And that's amazing. I'm still waiting for my glow up too.
No, stop. You're beautiful.
You said I were a weird kid. Like, what did you do?
Oh my god! Just so you have an idea, so I'm really into a lot of stuff. If I stop here to talk about what I'm into, I tried a bunch of stuff. In these 28 years.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, I really liked arts and crafts. So I played with polymer clay stuff. I used it to make polymer clay keychains to sell. Just so you have an
To
idea.
sell?
Yeah, I use it to make necklaces with. It's a type of fabric that my grandma taught me how to do, and I use it to watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to do stuff to sell for some reason. So I think I have a little bit of entrepreneur side of me, but I
Yeah,
never explored
entrepreneur.
that much. But I remember one of the first things I sold, or I tried to sell at least, on fundamental middle school. I don't know. I was super young. I don't know why, but I thought that was a good idea to draw stuff in a paper, and I would cut it and I would attach something to it to make a keychain. So it was basically a keychain out of a paper piece. And I don't know why that sounded good to me. And I tried to sell for people. And of course, people thought that was a bit weird with a reason.
But did they
But
buy?
I think one of my friends did. I don't remember for how much I sold at the time, but no, she was a friend. I think
Yeah.
she was just trying to support me.
She was supporting the business.
Yeah, but I gave up on that idea pretty quickly, and then I started to do other stuff at some point.
Did you have other business ideas on a high
So
school?
not in high school. This polymer clay thing, I did it for a while. When I started to do, I had an aunt at the time. She was dating my uncle, and she did that polymer clay. How do you call that? Some figures to put in keychain or use as decoration or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some YouTube videos. I got interested on that. I bought it. My grandma always was the one that sponsored me on that. She will always like, Grandma, I wanted to do necklaces now. And she was like, oh, yeah, go to the store, do that. It's going to turn out pretty. Grandma, I want to try polymer clay stuff. Oh, yeah, go to the store, take this money and buy this. I want to try sewing. Yeah, go to the store, get some fabric, try this. She was also my sponsor. So when I did that through high school and I sold some stuff. I did sell some keychains to some of my friends. They would send me a reference. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm good, but I'm quite okay getting the idea, looking. Same for drawing. I also drew at some point of my life and copying stuff like, oh, I have this image and I'm gonna turn into this, I don't know, keychain for someone. He wants to buy it. Here we go. So I did that through high school.
So
And
it
I,
seems
wa-
like
I
you
still love that.
tried a little bit of everything. Were you like
I
trying to
did.
find yourself on?
At some point in high school, I was sprinting, I was doing ballet, I was doing this arts and crafts little thing. I was studying. It was just a lot going on. I had a panic attack in the end of my high school, and I feel was because of a lot of stuff I was just doing at the same time. But I don't know why. I just like even now, if I see something like crochet, that's something like I have been looking into videos because I always wanted to know how to crochet. Like if you ask me, do you know how to sew? I know how to sew because you know how to
Mhm.
embroider stuff. I
No,
do
no, but
because I actually at some point wanted to learn. You know, Although I sold donuts when I was in college in Brazil, like for a long time, and people bought it. Like I used it to wake up at 4:30 in the morning just to make the donuts, and I use it to sell like 50 a day. They would be gone.
Wow.
So that's I did try a few things
I
before.
admire who has this entrepreneur spirit because I think it's a skill that I at some point of my life should develop if I want to excel in finances.
I admire that too. I never explore it actually. I never that has nothing to do with I do right now. But I do. I like to. How do you say? I think I like to. When you like to make stuff and you like to see the satisfaction on people, like to make something nice and they like it. I think I like this feeling of doing something for someone that they appreciate. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Makes sense. Like it would be cool if you develop like a robot who can also embroider things.
That would be amazing. I would have that
That would be fun.
Write that down. I'm sure you can do it.
I
one
think
day.
I think it's also interesting. I feel that takes a lot of confidence that usually doesn't happen for people that were bullied because I was bullied at school too and I was not in my corner like eating my
Mhm.
lunch in the bathroom, but I didn't have the confidence to say, "Hey, I'm doing this. I'm selling this," because it brings a spotlight on you that
Yeah,
I didn't want to have it. So
that's
how do
true.
you feel like you deal with the spotlight? How do you feel with you deal with people interaction?
I think today I do pretty good, I would say. I never thought about this side. Like that is true. Like for someone because I was bullied. Like I was the one that people wouldn't talk to or they would call me ugly or this and that. And I don't know when it shifted, but for example, growing up, my mom always says that I like to wear different clothing, which I do admire. I do still appreciate clothing today. And my mom always mentioned like how would like these weird styles or different styles and everything. And I feel I was very blessed to have my mom never she was never the one that would say you cannot wear that or you cannot do that. She would make comments, but she would never like just tell me not to do it. But so I think I was very blessed for that, for not having her not stopping me of trying and finding out what I really liked. But I do feel I deal okay. I don't think I have a problem of I mean I do a lot of speaking at the school right now, right? Go in front of people and everything. So I guess I just have to deal with that. I think I do okay. I don't want to say wow, I do great. I love being spotlight. No, it's not like that. It's just I don't think I have a problem with what I mean.
You told me once that you had a relationship with your mom that you would see her as a friend because
Mm-hmm.
I think she had you when she was young, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So you kind of have this relationship where you would see her like an equal. Can you
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit about this?
Oh yeah. So she had me when she was 18 and we grew up pretty close. I grew up in my grandparents' house. So it was me, her, my grandma and my grandpa. And until I was almost 5, we lived all together. I used to sleep in the same room as my mom through all these years because there was just this extra room for me and her. And so it's like we grew up very close. And as I grew, she was the young mom. I always bragged about my mom at school too. Like, oh yeah, your mom is no, my mom is only 20. My mom is only 20 something. But that's not a good thing to. Anyways, but yeah. So she always supported me. As I say, she was never the one to tell me like, Maria, don't do that or don't wear that. Or as I say, she made comments. She always shared her opinion, but I always felt very comfortable with her about whatever I would choose to do for school or how I would dress up or my friends, what I would play with and stuff like that. She's a cool mom. Like when in fact we talk every day, like pretty much. When I don't call her a day, she messaged me like, "Is something wrong? You didn't call today?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like we just call and talk about everything. Like, "Mom, what you doing? Are you not home? Why are you not home?"
Do
Stuff
you
like
That's
feel
that.
like
sweet.
this relationship that you had with your mom is part of your confidence that you developed and feeling encouraged, or would you say that this is something that is in you?
Baby, I was born this way.
No, I don't even feel. Yeah, right. No, I don't even feel I'm that confident. Sometimes I'm gonna try to express this in words. I am a little insecure about a lot of stuff about me myself, and I feel part of my brain just do like you know. I'm a little insecure in here, but like if I'm not showing that, if I'm a little bit more confident in my attitude, I guess people won't notice, or people will just not, paying attention to those things, because that's something. I mean, usually our insecurities is something that we pay attention to, right? Like, so, but I feel, yes, I do feel she helped a lot through that. Because again, she never shut me down on anything. She always supported me. Or if I regretted something, she'd be like, "It's okay." And there's times I didn't do something. Or my mom wanted me to do something and I didn't do it and I regret. She was like, "It's okay. It happens. You're gonna try it again." She always, yeah, she always being a supporter. She always brag about me to everybody. Like her and my dad as well. Every time I FaceTime them, they show me to the whole room or to everybody. So they're like, "That's my daughter." But I feel every parent's like that. But definitely helped. I would say yes. It definitely played an important role in that.
That's the kind of relationship that I want to develop with my son because my mom, she was the opposite of this. My mom was the rule maker and she was like a general. Things has to be like this and this and this. And I didn't have a room. I called my mom like man. I can't call her you. I
Oh
have to
my
call her
goodness.
man. Yeah. And she had me when she was 30, which is like now I don't think she was it is old because it's the same age I
Yeah.
had my son. But her mentality is like she's 70, right? So I had all these rules and I was raised Christian too. So there were her rules, Christian rules, church rules, not Christian. The poor Christ is oh my God. But there were a lot going on in my house and I don't want to build the same kind of a relationship I had with my mom with my son. Now we get
Mhm.
along well, but I feel like your kid needs to see you like you are on their side.
Mhm.
And I feel like I didn't have this vision of my mom. I feel like so if shit hits the fan, I would lie to her. If I thought she's gonna be mad at me, and I was never beat up when I was a kid or ever,
Mhm.
but it was more like words. And she would destroy my self esteem and tell me a lot of things. So I would just hide. And all the things, there was a lot of things going on at school. I was bullied as well. And she never knew. I told her last year when I went to Brazil, I can't
Yeah.
even name it what we had when I went to Brazil, but I told her everything
Oh
because
wow.
I went through this, and I never told you because I never had this room. And it was difficult, but I felt like our relationship now reached another level.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can see her as a friend, but at least now I don't care anymore about her judgment. So if I'm going to do something that she doesn't approve, who cares? I pay my
Yeah.
bills. I live in another continent.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
so it's good that you had that with your mom. And then you said that she had your sister when you were 6. So you were all living at your grandparents' house. And then at some point, did she find
Yeah.
your stepfather? How was
Yeah.
that?
So she found my stepfather and then we moved out. My grandma did want me. My grandparents wanted to adopt me actually.
You go live.
Yeah, but of course, with obvious reasons, my mom didn't let that happen. But I found out that later. My grandma used to take me to walk and talking with people, and people were like, "Oh, she's not living with you anymore." She was like, "No, her mom didn't let her." That's okay. But yeah, she met my stepfather. Then we moved out to a house, and then was me, my stepfather, my mom, and she got pregnant right after she got married to my stepfather. And then my sister was born after, and then we was just us growing up, and yeah.
When I have like this triangle of child, mom, and grandmother, usually some situations, the grandmother, she's different from the mom. So your mom say, don't do this. And then your grandmother
Yeah.
say, do this. Did that
Exactly
happen to
like
you?
that. Yes, my grandma. So I'm also very my grandparents. Of course, I grew up with them, so they were, everything to me. They're like my parents as well. My grandma, my grandma is more. I'm trying to find out where she's more sassy or she have more the attitude sometimes. So my mom, she started to go to the church after my sister was born. So before my sister, my mom would do a lot of stuff that she don't do anymore, which is okay. And my grandma and my grandpa never really understood or liked it much and everything. So that's also a thing between my mom and my grandma. But my grandma is pretty a lot like me today. She loves to, do her nails, makeup. She loves to Right now, not as much since my, unfortunately, my grandpa passed away. But I remember I would go to her house just to play with her makeups, just to play with her, just do my nails. She had all the accessories, clothes. I have a shirt from her here. I don't even know if she knows, but I brought one of her shirts with me. I have her purses, clothes, shoes. She loves to do the stuff, take care of myself, care of herself. My mom is like that too, but my grandma is the type of grandma that she would call me and she'd be like, "Oh, go shorter in your shorts. You gotta show these legs," or stuff like that. And my mom's like, "Yeah,"
Just the opposite.
yeah, and my mom's like, "No, Marie, that's too short. Don't do that." But she would have a space on the kitchen just for my snacks. That was for me. We would go shopping. I would beg to go shopping with my grandma all the time. I just love to go out. And I would come back home and she have like this little place in the kitchen that was just for me. Like before my sister was born, of course, but that's just next for me. I love that. I miss that.
Is she still looking to adopt? I'm available. So
I'm sure she would love that.
I love her grandma. I don't think I ever met a grandma that like puts makeup on. I think
She used to do
never.
that a lot. Like she had so much makeup and like nail. Oh my gosh, nail polish. She had a lot of nail polish, purses, and clothing and shoes. And she really liked to go out and just buy stuff whenever she could. Of course, not that could just buy stuff all the time, but that's something she enjoy, which I do enjoy as well.
I love that. And as you said, all the families have, some dynamics that are complicated, but your family seems to be very happy and very loving.
Yeah,
And
I would say so.
how was getting out of this family bubble, happy atmosphere, and pulling a hook to our next part, our
Mhm.
next movie? How was entering the adult life for you? How was when you had to face the world without your family
Mhm.
right there all the time for you?
So the movie I chose for that part, Star Wars, the seventh movie, it came out. It was like the first that came out. Let's say like that in recent days, which is not really recent right now. But and at the time, I was moving to a new city to go to college. So I was moving out of my parents' house. I was going to live by myself. I remember I went to the theater to see Star Wars because I really liked Star Wars. I was, kind of a nerdy person, and I think I still am actually. Star Wars came out, I went to the theater, and I really liked this one character called Rey. And that's when I started to cosplay. So I started to cosplay and, wear costumes and go to these events. At the time that I moved out, I was 18 and I went to live by myself. A lot have changed. Like I have never lived by myself before. I'm not, great cooking, so you can only imagine how that went. And yeah, and just a big change being away, but it was good. I actually tell my sister, I always told my sisters, I have two sisters, right? So I always told them same thing. Like it's if you can have this experience of moving out of a parent's house before you get married and just have this experience by yourself, I think I benefited a lot from that because I learned so much about myself at the time. I learned so much about the things I actually like to do. I learned how I was as an individual without having my mom and my dad and my family right there right by my side. And of course I learned a lot about just having this productivity to just do stuff. If I need something, I'm gonna be the one to go buy something in the store, in the grocery store. Or if I have an issue at the apartment, whatever I'm living, I'm the one to get to solve it. So and yeah, I chose the movie just because I watched the movie a lot as well. And it was just a movie that it came to my mind when I thought about moving out because it was at the same time frame, and I really liked that movie too.
I like that the movie 7 is The Force Awakens.
Yes.
So it's like I'm flying solo now. And how far was the college from your hometown?
It was 3 hours and a half.
Oh, so it was within the same state still.
Yeah, it's in the same state. It was the capital instead of the small town.
Were you working? Were you at college or you were solely
No,
studying?
no. At the beginning, I was just studying. So when I went to college, my mom was helping me with rent. And as I said before, that's a bad thing sometimes too. I like having my independence, buying stuff, and so I never. I feel that's one thing. Since we grow up, I'm not gonna say we were poor, but my mom was never the one to like just have spare money every day if I want an ice cream or something. That was not something we could just be affording every day. So I learned since a kid to not ask her like, hey, can I have $2 or whatever to buy this? Because I knew she'd be like, no, let's save for something else. So when I moved, that was hard, right? Because I was like, okay, I'm this big city. There's so much to be done in here. That's so cool and nice, but I don't have money. And that's when I started to put my entrepreneurial mind working again. Yeah, and then I thought I'm just gonna sell donuts for some. I don't even remember how that came. I think I was watching again YouTube videos, and I saw someone. I actually don't remember. I saw somewhere mini donuts, and I thought with myself, wow, I've never seen people selling mini donuts. I always see people selling brigadeiro. So I'm just gonna innovate and sell mini donuts because that's something they're gonna call attention, right? And that did. I went to college. The first time I did, you guys don't understand. People bought from me to resell in the other part of the campus.
Oh my
Just so
God.
you have an idea, that was a day that I had to do like, I don't even remember how many. So many, just because people wanted to buy to resell in there. Because I sell sheep. So I use it to buy the materials. And I wanted to have like a profit. I profited about it with that, but it was not my intention to just profit like a lot. I just wanted to make sure I would make it, people would be able to buy it, and I would still profit. So I made just enough. So
Look at that.
yeah, I did that for a long time.
And you made them entirely from scratch, like you baked them,
Yes, everything.
except recipes, if
I wish I remember in my head. That was something like it was in my head. I feel if I try to close my eyes and try to think about and remember, I think I
Your
would
mind is very
remember.
powerful. I believe in you.
But I gotta concentrate. But they're very good. I really like them. Not to brag about myself, but they were good.
how long did you sell them?
Like in college, how long? I think like
Yeah.
maybe a year and a half or two, because then I started a job. Oh, I remember. I wanted money to do my first cosplay. That's what I wanted money for. And I didn't want to ask my parents. I was like, I need to sell something to
Thank
make
God it was not
money.
drugs. It was donuts.
No, I just remembered. Yeah.
What was your first cosplay?
It was so I did Ray from Star Wars, but that one my mom helped me with. So that one was for an event. And I was still living with my parents. I went to the capital, went to this event, but I was moving to the big city. But that was a very, if I show you a picture, you will understand. That was very bad. I did, anyways. And then I wanted to do something nice for a new event that would happen, right? And then I wanted to do Zelda from Zelda, from
From Zelda.
a video
Okay,
game.
all right,
Yes.
all right.
So I wanted to do the princess. Yeah, and I did. I saved some money for enough time, and I paid someone to shoot the dress, and I made all the accessories because, as I said, I love arts and crafts as well. So I bought paint, foam, and I had a Dremel, and then you just use the Dremel to kind of make the armor for the cosplays, for the costumes. So I made that, paint that. Again, it's a lot you can learn from try and error. So
And
Do you
was
do a
it,
care?
go
Sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Was it just a hobby, or at some point you actually made money being
at some point I actually made money for that too.
girl, making money out of everything.
We're talking
That's
about it right now,
selling
and now I'm thinking, should I invest on something? Like maybe I should.
Girl, yes. You have in your veins. Just do
But
it.
at some point, no. So there's competitions for cosplays, right? And I did
Yeah.
win a few of them with my costumes as I got better. Of course, not in the beginning. I was pretty bad, but you learn on makeup. You learn how to do your hair, wigs. So I improved. But at some point of my life, I started to do nice props for costumes as well. Not as nice, but at the time was okay. And people got interest, and I'll be like, if you want that, I can make it for you, and you for that much. And that became a thing for a little bit until I got super busy with school and that, and I had to drop that. But I did sell. I have a page. I think my page on Facebook is still on, and I have an album with a bunch of pictures of the props I made by hand that people bought it. So yeah, I made money from that too.
We can link
Don't-
your page down below if you're comfortable with.
I don't use it anymore, but it's there. Pictures and everything.
We want to see it and we want to show our audience because it's pretty cool. Do you do one a year or a few a year? How is that for you now?
Right now, just once a year. Right this weekend, there's a event happening here in Atlanta, but I don't think that is one costume I made here in US since I got here that I really liked. But I have wore like maybe 4 times, 5 times already. So that's hard to explain. I just want to repeat it again. and I'm working on new stuff too, just to make something different because I cannot be posting the same thing 5 times in a row. But yeah, but usually I'll say once or twice a year.
And from all those characters that you made, you've done some Star Wars characters, right?
Yeah, I did Padme Amidala. That's the mom. I would say the mom of Leia and Luke.
Mhm.
So I did her. I have a dress from her here that I took some pictures. I never went to an event with her, but I did her cosplay in Brazil when I did Zelda. So I did Zelda and did this other one just as a backup.
What's her name again?
Padme Amidala. May Amidala. It's the weird name.
Mhm. No, I
It's
know who
but
she is.
yeah, and I did Ray, which at that time I thought was so cool. And when I look back on the pictures, you're gonna understand if I show you the pictures. It's so bad. But I did her twice, so the second time I did her, I actually did an improvement, much way good. I like a very. Oh my gosh, she turned out way better. Yeah, I think I just did those two from Star Wars, just Padme and Ray twice
Oh
from that
yeah.
movie.
You should do Princess Leia at some point because isn't she the main female
Yeah.
character from the Star Wars saga?
She's one of the she's one of the main. She is in this movie in the Force Awakens, but I don't want to talk much about it. The movie, no spoilers.
Why this movie? Like, do you think is this your favorite movie or is just a movie for this phase of your life?
It's not my favorite from the series, but that's definitely one for the phase of life. I would say it's just something again. As we're talking about, when I think about that time of my life, this movie comes to mind. Just because I went to the theater. We don't have a theater in where I'm from, so I went to the theater to see that movie. I got very excited. I remember being in the theater watching that movie at that time. I remember I wanted to cosplay immediately the character from the movie at the time. That first event um made me open my eyes that I wanted to do that more. And then when I went to college, I wanted to do Zelda because I did the first costume as well from this movie. It was just like a movie that at that time it was an important movie, I guess. Like, I does a lot. It's just, again, it comes to my mind when I think about that time specifically when I was 18, 19.
Nice. Well, since we're talking about moments of our lives, movies come to mind. The next movie is about a difficult moment of your life. Movie for a difficult moment of your life and why, and if you feel comfortable sharing what was a difficult moment of your life.
So the difficult moment, I chose. So I'm gonna have to explain. But I chose Frozen 2 for yeah. So Frozen 2, and I'm gonna say why. So there were two difficult moments of my life. One of them was kind of short in terms of it happened, but it was when my grandpa passed away, and I could not think about a movie. I just could not think about a movie that would reflect that. But there was another time that it stays on my mind when I think about a difficult time that I had was when I moved to US right after I arrived here. So when I got here, I wasn't adapting. I was pretty much crying every day. I was missing my family. I would just talk with them all the time. I remember I would even tell my grandpa, hey, he would always call me and say that he could pay a flight to me to go back. Because if you just want to go back, we can just schedule a flight for you to come back. I was like, I want to go back, but I feel bad because I paid all this money and I just want to stay here, like maybe for 2-3 weeks and whatever, just to see how I'm gonna feel. Oh my gosh, you don't understand. I was crying every day. I regret it. At the first days, I was like, "What did I do with my life? I wish I have never seen about this program. I wish someone have told me do not go or whatever." Like I was, oh my god, I was devastated. What did I do and everything. And then that movie. So why that movie? At the first, I think on the second week I arrived here, that movie was about to come out. It was right in the beginning when I arrived here. The movie was about to come out. And I love Frozen. So as may don't know, or some people may know, I use it to work for children parties, dressing up as princesses and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, one big character that I will always dress up as was Elsa from Frozen. So put the wig, dress, and everything, and just talk with the kids. So that was a movie that I really liked. And Frozen 2 came out at that time. And I remember that was something that brought me a little bit of joy on that moment. I wanted to go to the theater because Frozen 2 was about to come out. And I had high expectations for the movie. I really wanted to see the movie. So that came to mind just because at that time, I think that was a movie that I got excited about. It brought me a little bit of joy on that moment. And I just could turn my head out a little for all that. And eventually got better, of course.
Sounds like a sweet job to be dressed as princess, and then probably all the girls, right, will be coming and hugging.
Oh, everybody. That was not only princesses. I also dress, those big head things like mascots and stuff. Not, of course, not mascots for children parties, but Paw Patrol, for example. I dress up as Chase many times. The big head, and yes. So
But would you talk? Because you'll be
no,
dressing like Chase, and then you say something, the girl will be like, how are you?
we couldn't talk. We just could like either dance or move or hug the kids or whatever they wanted to do. It's pretty
How
much it.
hot was it? I always want
Very,
to like
very sweaty, very, very hot.
because I always
It's not
want
fun.
like they wear those, it's
Not
fluffy
fun.
and big and looks heavy. So I'm like, the person must be dying inside of those clothes.
Yeah,
Yes, not
especially
fun.
in Northeast Brazil where there's never winter. So,
Yeah, I know. No,
God.
it was very hot for real. And we of course we would have breaks. We could step out either to drink water, especially, or to eat something if we needed. Yeah, it was
Super.
no, you because yeah, you couldn't see very well also, right? So you always had to have someone by your side to make sure you wouldn't fall or your head wouldn't fall, which could happen. And yeah, no, I can't, yeah, just imagine things like that. It's
Was
just
this during high school or college?
no college. This was after me doing donuts. And then, yeah, and then I was working with customer service for a company. And then a friend of mine told me about it, that someone was needing people to do princesses. And she was like, oh, I think you're pretty. So I think you could do a princess. I'm like, okay. And then I went there. And then, they dressed up me as Ariel, was the first one I did. With the wig, lenses. And I did cosplay too. So she also knew I did cosplay.
Mm.
And it was amazing. I was like, you know what? I have people taking pictures. I have the kids just smiling and playing with me. I'm gonna keep doing that. It's fun.
And
And
would
I
you
just
just dress up or would you also impersonate?
no, you have to impersonate. Yeah, you pretend you are the person. Like, you have to talk as you. For example, I did a lot of Elsa's because I knew all the movie lyrics, like all the songs and everything. You have to talk as you are the
Elsa.
character. Yeah, I have to talk as Elsa, and I would have someone else doing Anna. So it will always interact with each other like we are them.
That's awesome. It's kind of some actress job
Yeah.
over there as well, not just the cosplay.
No, yeah, for real. It's nice. I like that kind of thing. I like to interpretate this, and even cosplaying too. It's interesting when we do that cosplaying because when people come to talk with you, it's nice if you know this story, if you know what happens and how to behave on the character and wearing those stuff. It's
And I have another question about a difficult moment of your life. When you said that you moved out of your grandparents, your mom's house to live by yourself in college and you had a good time and learned about yourself, what was different? A lot of things different, but from moving by yourself in Brazil, but moving by yourself here because it was hard because you were away. What was harder than the first time you moved by yourself?
by yourself when I went to college, you mean?
Yes.
I think just being away, for example, in a regular week in high school, what I would do, I would get out of the bus from school. I would go straight to my grandma and my grandpa to have lunch every day, Monday through Friday, because I just love my grandparents so much. I just like to be there all afternoon. And they had a TV with, open, so I could watch and everything. My mom didn't have that. So I could go back home and I just visit my grandparents anytime. If end of afternoon, I come from a small city, so there was not much to do besides visiting your grandparents, going to watch TV, have different snacks, go staying home with my mom, play with my sister or whatever. But and so when I moved out, I was by myself. I had a boyfriend at the time and he was in the capital too doing college. But we did see each other quite often, but it's not the same thing. I'm not gonna say I was by myself because he made me company a lot.
Okay.
But it's definitely different, right? To be home and have those things that he used it to do. You start to miss those things. I miss those things,
Mm-hmm.
like from growing up. And when I moved here, of course, it becomes even harder, right? Because it's super far away now. I cannot just take a flight like that. But here is more so the language. It's a culture you don't know. It's not only you're far away, but you feel is not even is different because people act towards you differently just because that's how they know how to act. So it's just you gotta adapt to those things and without of course losing yourself, without changing who you are.
Right.
And you mentioned that it was difficult because you were like regretting your choice. What made you choose this program? What made you want to come to
Very
the United
honestly.
States?
So also a thing that many people don't know, but I went to college, right? I started mechatronics engineering college in Brazil. But I was a very bad student, very bad, like bad, bad, like very dismotivated. That's what is so funny about. I was such a great student until high school. I always took the best grades and stuff. I was involved in everything. When I went to college, I don't know if it's because I moved out from my parents and I didn't have that thing like, oh, I have to satisfy my mom, my dad, because I was living by myself. So my mom always trusted me so much that she never asked me for my grades. So she was never like, how are your grades in college? So I never had to say anything.
Wow.
But I
My
started to, yeah. So I started to explore a little more because I was in the big city. So I started to be a little bit more lazy towards school, which was bad. That's one regret. If I would have to choose one regret in life, that would be it. But I know that brought me here. So I don't want to say I regret it, but I regret not investing on that good university that I was at because again, believe it or not, like I took zeros. I was a C student, D student. I was a bad student. Like today I'm a professor, like who could tell? But I,
Yeah, no,
it,
I was going to ask you about talk a little bit about the competitions that you've been in college and your awards, because I know you got
yeah.
really nice.
Oh, yeah. So there are competitions. In fact, next month is the national one for the one I won. There's like skills competitions. A lot of skills. Everybody have different skills, right? So, for example, let's say I have electronic skills, which I believe I have, but many people have design. Okay, I can't. I hope so. Designing skills, speaking skills, nurses, cosmetics, every type of skills they have in these competitions. And yeah, so in 2024, yeah, last year, one of my professors asked me if I was interested in competing in electronics technology category. And I was like, of course. I mean, yes. I mean, for free and, get to compete and everything. Amazing. Sure. So I competed in that. I got first on state and then went to nationals. And we also have hotel free and everything. I can't wait. It's going to be so nice. It's so nice because you have to. So if you haven't noticed until now hearing us, I love to talk and I talk a lot. So we have to, we get to know so many people, different students from different schools and instructors and business representatives and stuff. Representatives, is that a word?
Representatives.
Representatives.
Representatives. See, how can I be a professor talking like that? My goodness. Business representatives, and you just get to network,
Mhm.
which is something I like. Like, I love to talk and, build conversations. And so on nationals last year, I got fourth. And this year, I won state again. That's my last year participating. And I'm going to the nationals now. Gonna win.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yes. Have been, especially I won. I got at least get the podium. Like, there's no way. But we'll see. Maybe I'll hear this podcast and I'll be like, oops, I didn't win. But no, I'm going to win.
You will win.
Yeah, I will win. And so that's that. And that's the one you're talking about. I got like an award for, don't take it very, but it's called a Student of the Year for a school.
She's
So
really good, guys. And then she's
I was, I
mod
was
right now.
nominated. I was
She can do
nominated.
donuts, ballet, cosplay, robots. Got a lot of awards. Student of the year, but I'm not sure if I'm good. I'm not
It's a
sure.
complex thing. It's just I don't know. I imagine if when I have a kid, if my kid's gonna be like that, like, Mom, can I try this? Okay, I'm tired. Mom, can I try this? I'm tired. Like, Mom, so much. But times, low key, I wish I was. I wish I was very good at, you know those people that like grow up, I'm gonna be a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and they just, they are a doctor. Growing up, I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a doctor. I want to cure cancer. I wanted to be a professional ballerina. I wanted to be a professional athlete. Before I chose to do what I do right now, I want everything.
Same.
All you can imagine. Like, I was never those kids like, when I grow up, I'll be a veterinary. When I grow up,
That's what
I'll
happened
be
with
a
me.
doctor.
That's what happened to her. And then she went to become a veterinary. And then what
Yeah,
happened after?
I graduated. And then I found out, oh, I love to be a vet, but I don't like the lifestyle of a vet.
Mhm.
Or the
So then
money
I had to
style of a
write more stuff because now I'm kind of, what am
That
I gonna
happened.
do? And here I am working. At the moment, I work with insurance, and I have a podcast with my friend.
AI.
See, we live and find out. Like, it's never late to find something different to do.
I
Exactly.
think a lot of things start with free hotel. Like you want to do this competition is very difficult. Oh, I don't think so. It's free hotel. Oh yeah, I'm doing.
Hey, it's a nice hotel. A nice
What's the
one.
competition? Like, what is the competition? Like, explain a little
So I'm gonna talk about my category because I don't know much about how the other ones are, but it's
bit.
basically testing your skills, right? So for my part of the competition, let me talk about the nationals because state one we don't do as much as we do in nationals. Nationals is more cool. So we have a written test, which is usually 50 questions that you have to answer about. In my case, electronics, basics electronics for that one. Then after that, we have to build a circuit in a breadboard and it has to work. So you have to read the schematics that is given to you. It's like a drawing of the
Mhm.
circuit, and you have to translate that kind of to the board. And you have all the components and stuff, and you build it. Then the other part of the competition is soldering. So we get a plate. I'm just gonna show you guys because we have thing, but that's basically what we make.
Okay.
So yeah, we get a PCB board, and we have a lot of components that are given to us, and we solder it all at the board, and it has to work first time.
Okay,
Like
so for
after you
our
solder,
audience, just to give a little insight, because since this is just audio, we
yeah,
can see it on the video because we're interviewing you. But
yeah.
if you open your computer, what we're looking at looks exactly what you can see inside your computer.
Yeah, it's like
So,
those
like,
boards.
yeah.
Exactly. So we just giving a lot of the components to solder into that board. And soldering, it's a sensitive thing, right? Like if you don't do it right, you can burn your board or you can burn the component or you can do a short somewhere and it's not gonna work. So yeah, you have to solder this all and it has to work as you put the batteries on and then
Mm-hmm.
you get the points. And then after that, we have the troubleshooting part, which is on the trainer that they have, and we need all our equipment, so like multimeter, oscilloscope, whatever we feel that it's to be used at that time. It's like they have the boards in there and you have to put arrows and you don't know what is wrong. So you just input the arrow and then you're gonna test where the problem is. And once you find that is a code for the problem and you insert the code. But that's a lot of those. Like you have to be doing that all the time. Like you put an arrow and then you figure it out what's going wrong with your tools, measurement tools, and then this is open in here. I can measure that no current going through or whatever. So what is the code for being open? That this. So I insert in there. So that's the troubleshooting part. And that's also a customer service test because as an engineer and in many areas actually it's very important to have customer service skills to talk with your customers to know how to pass through the information. So we also have that customer service test, which is also 50 questions. And yeah, those are the parts of the competition.
You spoke Greek for me right now, but I think it's beautiful that you are a woman talking about this thing and you're doing it, and you fucking won the competition for the state of Georgia. And I
For the
just want to
state.
make it clear out there that the winner of the state on her category, it's a Brazilian. I just want to say it out
Yeah,
loud.
for the state. And nationals too. Who knows? Maybe.
You will
Hopefully.
win nationals. Yeah, you will.
Hopefully. Yeah, just
That's awesome. And then you said that when you were in high school, you've done a lot of things, that you had like a burnout or something, and you're still doing a lot of things. How do you conciliate that with your personal life? I would like to use this question to pull a hook to our next movie, which is the movie you chose for your love life. Can you tell us which movie is it? And how?
So, yeah. So let me tell the movie and we talk about the conciliation, everything. So I chose Elemental from Disney as well. It's a pretty cute movie if you haven't watched. It's so nice. And talking about personal life. So, like you said, yes, I sometimes I do stop and feel like, yeah, I need to, slow down a little and just focus on the things I actually have to do right now. It's not easy to conciliate, I would say, mentally as well, coming home and being me, the way that my brain works. Sometimes I'm gonna come home from full day of studying or working, whatever it is, and I'm gonna have seen something on the internet that day that is gonna, for example, crochet. It's gonna make me think I can actually do crochet, and I'm gonna get home and I'm like, you know what? I have to get into the computer and I have to learn how to crochet right now. That's how my brain actually works. Like I developed a board recently. I posted on my Instagram page as well. That thing was something that I saw on Instagram. I got home and I spent all night just doing that because my brain just cannot. When I think about I want to do that, I have to do that. So I am married. I have Joseph, my husband, and he sees a lot of that happening, right? Because he lives with me. So he knows sometimes if I don't go to bed at the same time, it's because I just cannot shut off my brain. I have to do something. And that doesn't happen just through the night. It happens through the day too. Like sometimes last time at school, I'm like, oh, I wish I could go home right now because I want to do this right now. I'm a little impatient sometimes. But yeah, as I mentioned, I'm married. Me and him, we have a very good dynamic. I would say he's a great partner. He's very supportive. I really love him, of course, because I'm married to him. And he's seen it all. He's seen all the sides, right? He's seen the side of me just not shutting down and doing stuff. He's seen the sides when I stress too much about something, I overthink too much about stuff. He have seen my calm side. Sometimes it happens. He have seen me going through this path of doing my associate's degree, getting this job that I always wanted to have. And getting the hook for the movie, because I know I gotta tell you why I chose this movie. So, Elemental, if you haven't watched, I'm just gonna give a little brief, just the beginning of
Yeah.
it, but it's about these two people and they're elementals like fire and water, and they at some point they start to have they try to have a friendship, they start to have a love relationship, but I'm not going to get too much into it just to not give any spoilers. But what is cool about this movie is that they really focus on how different they are from each other, but regardless they always trying to make it work because they like each other, but they're very different at the point that it's not like we're just different personalities, like they're fire and water, so it's hard to make that work. But what I like about this movie is like they always try to go around that. They always try to find a way. And I think that's really what it's about, right? A partnership, a relationship when we're with someone you love. I mean, we are all different. Me and Joseph, thank goodness we're not the same. I could not stand someone like me just talking all day because, God, he's very patient. My husband's very patient. He hears, I talk a lot, as I said many times. So it's about that, right? It's about making work. We get home. Sometimes he's super tired. Sometimes I'm super tired. Sometimes we're both super tired. And it's about like we interpreting what each other need that time at that day and making work. Cause it's a life, right?
Yeah.
Maybe at some like you grow older and you're like, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it's not only love that you feed a relationship. That cannot be only love. It's so much more. And so I think that's something that people really have to understand and think about. It's not only love, like I love this person, but is this person a good partner? It's something, this person that's gonna support me. That's someone that's gonna make me get better. And it's not on love because maybe one day it happens a lot. Like one day I wake up, I'm like, "Oh my God, I want to punch this person. Like, oh, you irritating me. Like I tell him a lot. Like Joseph, today you just irritating me. Like please, so just be in your office. Please just let me be. Like, don't talk to me. And other days, I'm like, oh, I love you so much.
It's
Miss
called
you.
PMS, guys.
Yeah, like so. Gotta be someone that's gonna go through it all with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's amazing. I love the parallel that you made between the movie. I haven't watched that movie, but I'm married as well. And I feel like that's maybe a good movie for me to watch with my husband
Mhm.
because I totally agree with that. when we grow up thinking you're going to find the love of your life and then that love is going to be enough, but it's not. There's
No,
so
yeah.
much that plays into it. Is love, is how good of a partner that person is, it's how good you match, the things you are
Yeah.
interested about, the things that person is interested about, and the love language that is also different. Everybody has a different
Exactly.
love language. So yeah, no, I actually love that parallel, and I'm definitely gonna check this out, this movie.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I need to watch this movie yesterday because I had a relationship with, I'm an Aries, so I'm fire.
Mhm.
And then I had relationships with cancers, which traumatized me for life. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work because the pace is so different. I have my own pace and I like to do things in my way. And then to say, oh my God, I couldn't send another one of me. I am the opposite. I'm like, please God, make me find a male version of me because I feel like I will go along like way better than
Really?
somebody that is completely the opposite of me. I don't know. You say about patience, I don't have much. So
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
this
I'm
is
fire too. If we're talking about astrological stuff, yeah.
I think I'm an air, actually. Is Libra air? I'm air,
yeah.
right?
What about your husband?
He's a Leo.
So
Oh,
fire.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good match, Libra and Leo, I think. I've heard somewhere that that's a good match.
It is a good match. Yeah. It's like fire and air. Like it gets along well, but for me, I feel like when I'm talking about, I know that the movie is not about astrology, so that's not the elements they
It's
mentioned, but
okay.
I just put a connection to my own life. Like, okay, fire and water, when you're talking about astrology, I don't know. So I need to watch this movie and see for myself how they make it work. But I think despite of all the differences, what makes a relationship work is the commitment that
Mm-hmm.
you have with the person and also with yourself. Because it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna make this person happy. It's just like, I want to be a better person too. Because
Yeah.
if you focus only on making people happy, you can fall into this people pleasing
Yeah.
place that doesn't make you grow too. So I think I'm very happy that you found that you have somebody that can support you and that can
Yeah.
navigate through all your moves. I think we all deserve that, and I'm
Oh,
glad that you
yeah,
found it.
absolutely. Yes, I'm very happy too.
And I would like to pull that inspiring hook to your next movie, which is going to be a movie that inspires you. I would also like to add that I think you are an inspiration for a lot of
Oh,
women out there that want to be and be whatever they want. I think you're truly Barbie, you know, kind of you
no,
can do whatever you want to
I it was my dream to be
be.
Barbie.
we should we should put as like the intro to
You
her.
know, someone never say that. I will take that. I'll take that compliment. I
Yeah.
always wanted to be Barbie when I was growing up.
So you, what's the movie that you think it's inspiring and that inspires you?
Yeah, oh, that's great. So the movie I chose as inspiration, something that I actually watched recently. It's called Hidden Figures, and it's about three women. To be more specific, it's about three black women that worked for NASA, and they were doubted because they were women at the time. And it's a movie that plays in the old times. I am sure there's a term for it, and I forgot how to say it, but at that time there was still a lot of races going on, which it still is, unfortunately. But at the time, there was a lot of races going on. So they were also black women and playing this important role in the engineering groups, and people were just not, they were just doubting them because they were women, because of their color, and didn't put faith on that. And that's more so about proving them wrong. And I just love that movie, like especially because there are women too on that playing that roles in engineering. And in many of scenarios in this movie, there's a lot of guys always, right, on these
Yeah.
groups, on these meetings, these design projects. And I love how they stood for themselves.
Yeah.
Stood up for themselves.
Yeah, I love how they stood up for themselves on that movie. And again, a lot of things happen. I don't want to
That's right.
mention much.
I
Hidden
love this
Figures
movie.
from 2016,
Oh,
and it's based on a true story.
Yeah, I love this
yeah.
movie. I watched when I was on a plane once, and I think it's like it's nice that you picked this movie because you are in a in an area that
Yeah,
is
Mhm.
majority of
George.
it,
Mhm.
it's
majority
man.
of it, it's men.
Yeah.
So in this movie, it's like they are dowd, but it's called hidden figures because they were hidden in the sense that they would do the job, they wouldn't have the
Yes,
credit.
yes, yes.
And also, they would accomplish a lot of things. They would present their ideas to the meetings, and people be like dismissing them. But they are hidden, but they carry a lot of story. They have a lot of accomplishment. And the society, I think it was in the 60s or somewhere
Yeah.
around that when the movie develops. So there was racism and there was also sexism. So there were like two major societal factors playing against those women. But no spoilers. They're great. I don't know. Is it a spoiler if it's a real story? Like,
I
I
never
don't
watched
know,
it, so and I never heard about that story, so I will
but
have to watch that
it's
one.
a great movie. I really like it.
they succeed, guys. So
Yes.
that's great. I love this movie. And I love the actress. Oh, I forgot her name.
I forgot her name too. But yeah, all three of them are nice. All three of the actors.
Octavia Spencer. She's the same one that did The Help, which is another movie I love. Have you watched The Help?
I haven't watched it.
The Help is also about racism, but is like older. And they,
Nice. The Help.
yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, I've seen it. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
That's such a different name.
I know. So is this movie. I love both of them. I love this actress. She's funny. And I would like to wrap it up our episode today by asking Malu about her last movie, which is
Oh
the movie
yeah.
that she believes that everybody should see.
I don't know. You know, everybody have a different taste, right? But again, when you make those questions, I was talking with you like, oh, how do I make those choices? Like, oh no, just if you think about this moment, what comes to your mind? So the movie I chose for that is
Bohemian.
Bohemian Story, and
Feb Mercury.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to explain why. It's just you gotta watch that movie. I watched that movie so many times, and I would watch it again. The I feel the acting is so good. The actor,
Rami Malek.
yeah, eh, he he just as you say, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I really get to learn a lot from the movie about their story and what happened, how it happened, and I mean it's a musical too, kind of like right. So and I love musicals, and it's just so I just feel they really catch the audience like with
Mhm.
their act. The acting for me it's really nice, and the story itself like it's very entertaining. The way they play the story, I feel it does catch the audience and makes you like wow, like that's pretty interesting. Like I didn't know that. Oh wow, that's nice how they did that. That's nice how they showed that in the movie. It's more so again comes back to it. I love that movie. I really
Mhm.
Did
like
he
it.
win the Oscar for this movie? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I think
He won.
he was nominated, but did he win?
He was nominated. I don't remember if he won. I don't
Did
remember. Let me see.
this movie I love it too. So I remember that
Oh,
when we
he won as best actor.
yay.
Rami Malek. He's really good, guys.
He
He's
is
good.
so good, Rami
They
Malek.
won some other stuff apparently, like best sound mixing, best film editing, best sound editing, and he won the best actor. I mean, well deserved. I really like his acting on that movie.
Were you a fan of Queen before the movie, or you just watched the
I
movie and
liked
started
I
to?
liked some of their songs, more so because of my grandpa. But I there was another stuff that I used to hear at the time, like if we're talking about the type of music. Not like a fan. I heard it, but
Mhm.
I appreciated more after the movie, I would say. Heard more.
And his story is also inspirational because
Mhm.
like he was bullied too because of his teeth.
Yeah.
But there was like in the movie they talk about how the way his mouth is has the perfect,
Yeah.
how do you call that?
It's like to sing, it made it better for him to sing,
It has the
right?
Sound.
perfect acoustic
Acoustic, yeah.
for him to sing.
Because
And
of his teeth, I think.
he reaches notes that is
Yeah.
unbelievable. This movie is also special to me because Raquel and I, We were au pairs too, and we were au pairs around the same time. And there was a fever going on when we were au pairs. Movie Pass. We
Yeah.
we were a member of this, so we would pay a fee. I don't know. I think it was $13 at the time, and you got to see how many movies you wanted. And we lived in the movie theaters at the time.
Unlimited.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then I remember that I was moving back to Brazil, and then I saw the poster of this movie, and it was like real life size, so it was the actor size, and I was like, my God, Queen, and I love Queen, but I wouldn't be here. I would be in Brazil because I saw the poster, and then I saw the date.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, I'll be moving. I'll be out already. And then I remember, because in Brazil, like movies, it's not the same as here. It's not as
Yeah.
accessible. Like in my city, it's a fortune to just watch a movie. You have to
Yeah, it
plan ahead because it's a lot of money. But then I
Yep.
convinced one of my friends, I was like, no, we need to go. We need to go. And then I went and then I cried. I made my money worth there.
That's a great movie.
It is an awesome movie. I think Freddie Mercury himself is an inspiration for many
Yeah.
people. And I was going to, on this cue, before we end, because we are towards the end of your episode, if you could give an advice to somebody, a younger girl that is trying to find something to do and who she is and things that she likes, what would be that advice?
I'll say the same thing that I always say, when schools ask me the same thing, like, can you give advice for, high school students, what they want to do? Just dream big. Like, a few people, I feel that it's a thing. Maybe some people are afraid to dream big because they think that'll never happen. Like, I could never do that. Like, when I came to US, first thing I did when I saved a little bit of money was to go to Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea. Like, if I could tell my young self, hey, you're gonna go to Disney when you're like 23, oh my goodness, like, I could never imagine that could ever happen. And that might sound silly, but that was a big deal for me. Like, coming from a small town, having to always have to have this managing money and like making sure we had enough to do this and that, like thinking like, wow, I came to Disney World, like, I love Disney princess and stuff like that. So, oh my gosh, oh, that was a big deal. And I feel one thing that people say that I'm starting to pay more attention is like, I manifest a lot of those stuff. Like, I say a lot, like, hey, one day I'm gonna go to Disney. Like, one day, I'm gonna be a professor. I really want to be a professor. I'm gonna be a professor. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a professor. I'm gonna. When I was young, like, I'm gonna work at NASA one day. I keep saying that more because right now I got the professor, but maybe I can be a professor. Who knows? I don't know. But I feel. I feel I'm not afraid of dreaming those things that can sound impossible or can sound super hard. I feel it's the opposite for me. I feel it motivates me to go after that. Like, if I feel like, oh, that's so big, but we only gonna know if we try, right? So I would say, yeah, just don't be afraid of dreaming as big as you can think of, as big of a dream as you have. Don't be afraid of dreaming that and put that out there, manifest that, say that, because your words have power. And if you go after that, if you put your mind in that, if you're persistent, I believe I'm a persistent person, I guess. And yeah, I guess I just dream big.
Perfect.
That's
When you mentioned Disney World, I thought you were going to say the famous Walt Disney quote, if you can dream, you can do.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. When you mentioned, I was like, okay, she's going with the quote.
Well, that actually makes perfect, sense. If you can dream, you can do. And guys, I'm telling you, that's true. I didn't speak English. Basically, didn't speak English like 5 years ago. And I mean, I'm teaching people. I'm gonna have some spelling problems, probably writing on the boards, but that's minimum. We can work around
We
that.
have ChatGPT for this nowadays. So
Exactly. Yeah. It's gonna work out. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, I could never tell 5 years ago that I would reach this far, especially dropping out of college in Brazil. I could never tell, like, if I could go back in time, dropping out of college, be like, hey, Maria, like, in 5 years, you're gonna finish your associates and gonna be a professor in United States speaking a foreign language.
Boom.
Yeah, no, I could never. That's something that sometimes my mind is just, wow. I never, I don't think about it much. I'm like,
No,
damn, that's
yeah. I
nice.
mean, if you think about your whole trajectory until you got here,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, just a collection of all the things that you said you experienced in life,
Mm-hmm.
and here you are. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you
You just
guys
gotta
take
have the
my advice.
mindset. You
I
just gotta
love
have
it.
the mindset and think that's not late. Never. You can be any age for do whatever.
Yeah.
That's also something
I feel
I
like I
think.
have a little bit of this, but I need more. So, would you like to be my coach? Because
Yeah, we can
I'm
work
sure she can be
together.
a coach as well.
I'm telling you, that's so many. I hear so many people saying like, "I'm too old for this. I'm too old for that." If I had this mindset, I would never have done college again. I would never had started again just because. I mean, I'm usually 90% of the times the oldest one in my classes. Everywhere I go, I'm like, yeah, I'm 28. I'm 28, and people are like 19. The people in the competitions that compete with me, I don't share my age sometimes because I feel embarrassed. Like they're like, yeah, I'm 19 competing. How old are you? I'm like 10 years older than you. Haha. No, I don't say that, but it's just, oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just a number.
Yeah, just number.
You're still young. And it's more like you're young in age, you're also young in your soul. Like you have a youthful spirit.
Believe so. Yeah. I would say
Mhm.
so.
Um, he-
Yeah, I believe so. I think I'm very, as we talked about, very talkative. I like to have friends and doing stuff outside and inside and, conversating and just being active, living life, right? Because we just have this one. So might as well do the best as we can with this life and, yeah, enjoy as much.
Awesome. We loved having you here. I
Oh,
love
thank
your
you.
energy. I think you're a great woman, inspiring, as Raquel said. It was a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a big pleasure to
Yeah.
have this conversation with you guys too. I love you guys too.
it was awesome. We had a lot of fun.
I'm glad.
All right. So thank you for coming. And thanks for everybody that listened into here. And see you guys next time.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. And if you'd like to be our guest and share your life story and favorite movies with us, please contact us at lifewithoutspoilers@gmail.com.